What is up, everybody? My name is Verdict and thank you so much for stopping by. Now today I have yet another exciting video in the topics of basically what happened on Heidel Ball. Now guys, I never thought that I would ever see such thirst and desire for basically a region, and the big question is, what is happening in this region? It looks so menacing, and of course I'm talking about the Demon Lands. In this video I'll cover everything, or rather the most important things that we know about the Demon Lands, basically as a prep up for, of course, the distant future when we will be going there. Now, it has been rumored that the point of origin of the Black Spirit is in the Demon Lands. Now, that would be a little bit confusing. Like, people would be like, wait, does this mean that the Black Spirit is a demon? And I need to clarify according to what the lore of Black Desert dictates as a demon. Now, a demon in the sense of is an unholy being, an alien being, a being that is pretty much something considered as a villain, a being that is up to no good. You get the idea. So it's not necessarily onto the concept of heaven and hell, just a little bit of a clarification. There is no such concept in Black Desert Online. And the demons of the particular northern part of Valencia, which is of course the Demon Land, are expected to be black spirits or people which are pretty much quite being taken beholden of the Black Spirit. So you get the idea. This is going to be a little bit of a region where we explore the meaning of the Black Spirit. We explore how did the Black Spirit arrive, and onto the very same topic of how did the Black Spirit arrive, the lore suggests, and it actually has been cited, that there has been a meteorite fall, similar to how the Black Star of the far western regions, of course, of Calpheon kind of arrived. It was pretty much something like this. All fault to Caphras, by the way. But into the purpose of how long ago this happened, this is ancient. We're talking about the Demon Lands have been there for quite some time. They are, however, a little bit neglected in terms of, well, Pearl Abyss's attention and lore, but something very important to note is that this has been well-established lore for about, well, the past 10 years. Like, Pearl Abyss, in fact, at the very start, really wanted to explore the Demon Lands very early on so you get an idea of the Black Spirit, but then something happened. They never got to do this. So while we can say for sure that what we know is that the Demon Lands is the point of origin of the Black Spirit, it's where the first time Black Spirit was seen, there is also a lot of inconsistencies in terms of what actually is going on there. If we look into this artwork, which I showed quite a few times already, you get to feel a little bit of almost a hellish landscape. You get to see this unbreachable foggy sky. You get to see this absolutely menacing castle. And this beckons questions. In fact, people that aren't into the lore, they were a little bit confused into how the hell is something like this so big there? And that's a very fair question. Not many people have been really being capable of answering this question, and here's where the theories are going to start. So the majority of what I'm going to talk about right now is pretty much a little bit of a theory. In Valencia, we have, of course, the Hashashin, who is kind of the main kind of story guy, the dude that basically is pretty much almost entangled into everything that's happening in Valencia's story. So the Hashashin and the Order of Al, these warriors of Al in a sense, they are supposed to guard these particular gates. They're supposed to guard the entrance towards the Demon Land, whose key, apparently there is a gate which you can enter, and the key is actually within the kingdom of Valencia, particularly the king. Now, this is a little bit of a story which doesn't ring quite true to me, or rather, it could be such as the key is a little bit of a metaphor as a grant of entry in a sense. And one thing that we can say is that it's something similar to the way the Camosilvian vicinity was leaked, or rather it was teased from back in the day. You would see those guards pretty much staying there. Nope, you cannot go here yet. It's absolutely unsafe, this and that. So maybe the point of entrance towards the Demon Land will be through this gate. Now here is where a little bit of a theory relies. So whenever we spoke about these gates in particular, if you have played the Hashashin Awakening quest, then you have probably finished fighting, quote unquote, or rather the scenario of Ibidor basically confronting the Hashashin to open this particular gate. Now Ibidor is a servant of Hadum, so you would probably think that Ibidor was looking forward to open this gate, which is going to be the gate towards Elvia, or one of them the many gates towards Elvia. Now, this is a very speculative little bit, but in my opinion, you cannot have gates across the entirety of the world that leads towards Elvia. And also, the rumor is that this gate is leading towards the world of all, which is also speculation. But however, there is absolutely no concrete evidence on what's behind this gate. However, there is absolutely no gate anywhere in Valencia that would essentially take us towards the Demonland. In fact, if you run through the entirety of the vicinity and entirety of the Valencian region, you will never see a path that could possibly take you to these particular places. And that is a very confusing little bit of lore. Like, you could not really see this. So one thing which I really thought about was, well, here's the thing. This is the evidence right now. We are seeing the Valencian region. And according to the lore, the Demonlands, or the lands above, they are considered a very luscious jungle. And we're seeing a very hellish landscape. Now that is something very confusing. This is like, come on man, those are the exact opposites. We're talking about the lushest of lush green against the hellish of hellish volcanic landscapes. It doesn't make any sense. How could those two be together at the same time? They can't be one. And here is where the theory kind of relies. See, if you look at currently the map, the upper regions of Valencia, or quote unquote the Demonlands as they're being called for now, they are as big as Serendia, Calphion, Balanos, and Medea. We're talking about something that is as huge as Land of the Morning Light Part 1 and Part 2 multiplied by 2. It is a huge zone. So you could argue that, okay, maybe if you go upright, but still it's too drastic of a change that you would have something like this, so menacing, so evil, so volcanic, such a hellish landscape, and then right next to it a jungle. And this is where the theory comes in. Whenever we're talking about these particular gates, right now the main rumor, the main theory of the lore community is that we will be using perhaps the Hashashin's gate to enter such a hellish landscape. And really the upper parts would be more or less part 1, where we would be exploring the Black Spirit, how it came to be, this meteorite crash. Is it a little bit of a situation where we have a world underneath a world? Think of it like that mirror realm. Is it a question where we're looking into the hollow part of an earth? Is it something similar, like this is basically a part of Black Desert which is in a cavern underneath the world? And this is a very plausible theory. There is nothing to reject this theory, but there is a lot to support this theory based on past lore and current lore. Now, something that is very, very important to note is that if we are looking into what's previously being stated, I'm going to use an example. Upon the defeat of Gaiath, the victor of that particular defeat fled to the Valencian regions and then proceeded to go nothing but north. And once that north was achieved, quote unquote, they were lost within Elvia. Now, that is a very, very interesting thing. So another theory which then occurred for many of the people who are doing lore is pretty much that the Land of the Demons is the only gateway towards Elvia. Now, this is so unhinged at the same point, because yes, it makes sense for the Black Spirits to be able to infiltrate, but if there is a confirmed gateway towards Elvia, then why isn't Hadum already in our world, and why does he feel like there is a need for him to infiltrate through Calphion's Black Plague, infiltrate through Kazarka and the Serendia? Why does he feel like he has to do all of this when all he can do is just pop over from Valencia, pretty much sack the kingdom within a day, and then move towards to destroy our world, because he is simply this powerful? So one of the things which is also like the third theory is that it truly is a portal to Elvia, and it could be something like a very poor delivery of, hey, going into the Demonlands is actually going into Elvia. I do not subscribe to this at all. It is weird. It is poor writing. It's absolutely ludicrous as an idea, let alone as an opportunity for the players to explore. But to be completely fair with you guys, the Demonlands have captured people's attention. And this happened the first time they were announced. That this happens right now, and it seems to be a reoccurring thematic, especially for the people that are interested into more of these Castlevania types of vibes, more into this hellish landscapes, like Mordor types of thing. And I have a bunch of theories for my own. They're not fleshed out yet, and I'll probably share them in the future. But nonetheless, guys, Tell me down below in the comments if you would like. What do you think we'll face there? Like, what do you know about the Demon Lands? Have I missed anything? Anything vital? Anything important? And yeah, we'll see each other soon. The Demon Lands are exciting. They captured the attention of the player base.